While there were pockets of anti-government protests in Nigeria, some young people across the northern states of the country held street rallies supporting President Tinubu's government. Under the auspices of the I Am Nigeria initiative, the youth marched through the streets of Kano, Bauchi, Gusau, Yola, Zaria and Kefi, among others, to commemorate Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary. They commended the Tinubu administration for some of the government's policies, including student loans and the creation of a Ministry of Livestock Development, among others, while urging more proactive measures by the government to solve the country's enormous challenges.
All these 64 years, a lot has happened. A lot of water must have gone under the bridge. We've witnessed a lot of, development progress from military rule to civilian dispensation, to civil war and all that. Luckily, we are now living in an era of democracy. The journey ahead is far more than what has been covered up to right now. We had a work of, independence. This work demonstrates our resilience as people in Nigeria, and this work, portrays the hope we have for the future and the walk to the promised land.
Well, joining me to discuss the importance and modalities of the proposed National Youth Confab by President Tinubu is the President of the National Association of Nigerian Students in NANS, Lucky Emonefe. Also here is the Public Relations Officer of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Dr. Omoleye. And also with us is the Head of West Africa Office, Pan-African Youth Union, Haruna Okatahi. Gentlemen, good to see you all, and happy independence. Let's start off by talking about some key issues here. The President has announced a National Youth Conference. Perhaps let's start talking about the initial thoughts of this initiative, Emonefe.
Good evening. It's a welcome development. As President of all Nigerian students, on behalf of the entire Nigerian students, we heard the news and we're happy when Mr. President broadcast it that there will be a youth confab. We're happy with that. It shows the government's commitment towards engaging the youth positively. So first and foremost, we want to thank Mr. President for this initiative. Secondly, we want to thank the Minister of State for Youth for these ideas. We commend them for this. You see, Nigeria belongs to all of us. The most agitated set of people are the youths. And the situation whereby the President has said he wants to give the youth listening ears is commendable. We welcome it. And we, Nigeria youth and students, will be happy to have a fruitful engagement with our government, bring out ideas, solutions on how most of these challenges facing our nation are discussed, solutions are found, and way forward.
Well, Lucky, thank you. And Doctor, the speech mentions that young people constitute more than 60% of Nigeria's population. How important do you think it is for the government to actively involve youth in policy making?
Thank you so much. It is important that young people, going by our strength and our energy, are carried along in the activities and deliverables of government. We cannot undermine, the importance of young people in governance and leadership in this country. And over time, since the creation of this country, young people have continuously shown that we have what it takes to contribute meaningfully to the growth of Nigeria as a country. And if you look at the August 1st protest that led to the loss of lives of many individuals across the country, it shows that if young people are united, we can actually push ourselves forward. And the president, being a listening president, has once again engraved his name in the heart of young people by acceding to the dialogue to create a platform for young people across the country, not just for some day, not just for one day, but for 30 days to meet and to discuss and provide solutions, and to also seize that venue to pour out their minds and to also advise in whatever areas they think that the government needs to improve upon to also better the lives of every young Nigerian. So we the National Youth Council of Nigeria, receive this with utmost joy in our heart, because this platform is not just going to bring us together to discuss, but to also provide solutions. So we commend the president for being a listening president, and looking forward to the outcome of that conversation.
And Haruna, the president stated that the conference will address diverse challenges and opportunities confronting, in his words, our young people. So what specific issues do you hope will be prioritized during this conference?
Yes, okay, I want to use this opportunity again to thank the Mr. President for listening to us. This whole journey actually started on the 21st of August, when there is a press conference at the Minister for State's conference hall, where we young Nigerians, under the leadership of the senior special advisors and special advisors on youth mobilization to governors of 36 states of Nigeria, and in collaboration with the Office of the Vice President, Pan-African Youth Union, in organizing a press conference that talked about youth confab, youth dialogue, where we intend bringing about 1,000 youths all over Nigeria to Abuja for a dialogue. And we want to thank the president, because if you observe in the recent time, some of the young ministers in this administration have really been trying, because the president gave them the opportunity to do so. So after listening to what we have, and the president decided to bring up this, I just want to make mention of what we intend to achieve with this youth conference.
But before that, so that you don't veer off my question specifically is, what issues do you hope to be prioritized during this coming conference?
Yes, like the enhance national unity. To enhance national unity, youth-led economy, where Nigerians youth can truly be given the platform, opportunity to become what they want to be in Nigeria, and to strengthen youth leadership. Because if you observe very well, these are part of the things we are hoping to discuss and come to terms, then submit to the government of the day. And then instead of we protesting and not having a leadership, let us know that this is what we want to do, and this is how we want to go about it.
Well, let me jump in here, because it still doesn't look like you've been able to give us some key things for conversation. What you've highlighted borders around youth. You should talk about your leadership and not the president or the nation. But again, we'll come back while we allow you to get that out for us. The speech, Emonefe Lucky, suggests that young people will be involved in designing the conference's modalities and selecting delegates. So how can this process be made truly inclusive and representative of Nigeria's diverse youth population?
Yes, I think Nigeria youth, we pray that all sectors of the youth are carried along, especially the organization I represent, which is NANS. NANS is the most formidable youth movement and student movement in the sub-Saharan Africa, amounting over 40 million Nigerian students. We believe that the youth should be carried along, and we have confidence that NANS, as a representative of students and youth as well, will be fully involved. By doing this, of course, it will reach out to different sectors of our youth. then we expect much from it. Now that we have student loan, and I think 2 days ago, some buses, CNG buses to East Transportation has been released for us. We are looking towards ensuring that security in our campuses, electricity in our campuses are issues to be discussed. And most importantly, you know that Nigeria students, after graduation, there is unemployment. So one of the key issues will be articulating as representative of Nigeria students. You know, after graduation, we need to be engaged and be employed to be empowered as well.
We get that point, and that's why the president is convoking this conference. But again, how do you make it more inclusive, given the fact that we have a diverse society, Lucky?
Okay, we will involve our structures. Our structure is across the 36 states of the Federation. We have from each of the states. We have at zonal level. And every of these persons and categories and structure of NANS are from different ethnic groups, different tribes, and different states. So by involving NANS, a body like NANS, it will cover a lot of interest. That's what we are trying to say.
Okay, let me bring in Dotun. You know, this is getting interesting. It looks like talk shops all over the place. But how can the government ensure that the recommendations from this conference are actually implemented and not just filed away to gather dust?
Thank you so much. Recommendations from the conversation, which is the upcoming National Youth Conference. Sometimes in 2021, between November 1st and November 3rd, we had something similar to this, even though it was just for 3 days, organized by the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, where young people across the country gathered here in Abuja at the National Stadium for 3 days to discuss issues bordering young people of the country. And I strongly believe that the young people of this country have so much trust in this administration. And the president has over time showed so much commitment, and passion towards the cause of young people by even appointing some young people who are, of our mates, into his cabinet. That shows that when he speaks, I strongly believe that Nigerian youth will believe him. And going by his speech as well, I think we can hold him responsible to that because he made it clear in the statement that his recommendations from this conference are going to be, implemented. And sometimes people don't understand how governance works because most of our challenges today, people just put the blame on the president alone. People are not asking their local government chairman, their state governors, even their commissioners, their senators or their rep members. People are not holding them accountable. And by the recommendations from this conversation, I strongly believe that those ones that are responsibility of the president, I believe is going to accede to it, while those that are expected to be handled by other structures will also be passed to them, because coming together of young people for 30 days is not just going to be a tea party, you understand? And I don't believe that recommendations from such gathering is something that can be thrown under the table. So I believe all stakeholders will be willing to see the recommendation, and I can assure you that they will never disappoint Nigerian youth.
Let me stay with you for a bit, Dr. Speaking of which, talking about stakeholders, the president mentioned that the conference aims to provoke meaningful dialogue. That's the president speaking now. So in your opinion, what does meaningful dialogue between the government and youth look like?
The word meaningful means sincerity. It means genuine and deliberate. So I strongly believe that such recommendation will never be tampered with, I can assure you, because I believe that Nigerian youths have what it takes to come out with recommendations that will actually better the lives of young people across the country. And if the selections of the membership of the committee or the confab is thoroughly assessed, we have young people that can actually represent us at every platform. And whatever decision they take on our behalf, we strongly believe that it's going to benefit the entire Nigerian youth.
Aruna, I come back to you. How do you think this conference can address the brain drain issue affecting Nigeria's youth population?
Yes, just like the last speaker said, this confab is a gathering of young Nigerians talking to themselves and how to chart a way forward for Nigeria. So to me, I believe strongly that if everybody from every nook and cranny of Nigeria, every youth from every part of Nigeria comes together to discuss how we can make our country great. We don't have any other country apart from this. The brain drain thing is as a result of unemployment, low wages and salary in Nigeria. How do we grow our economy? Because if you go to farm, even in the military, in any sector of the economy, there are young people everywhere. So it is the young people that suffers more when the country is not working fine. So I believe strongly that with I'm hoping that with the recommendation from the conference, from the confab, Nigerian youth will really make their voice known and work together to make Nigeria a better place to stay.
Now, as we wrap up, let's bring this to Lucky as a closing statement. The speech talks about empowering youth to participate in nation building. So, Lucky, what practical steps do you think should be taken to achieve this?
I think going by what you asked about building our nation, we believe that one of the key things you can contribute positively to nation building is educating its citizens. Education is key to nation development and nation building. And Mr. President has taken the bold step by ensuring that no Nigerian citizen will be denied access to higher education through the NEL fund. And we want more expansion. The people in higher institution is inclusive now. That is, those with skills should equally be kick-started quickly to ensure that when they get these necessary skills, they will contribute positively to nation building and national development. So the employment situation and involving our youth positively, they will contribute greatly to nation building, and they will be more patriotic to ensure that our nation gets to its required destination.
Well, it's been a fine conversation, but I wouldn't let you go without asking how you keen women. Back in the day while we were in school, SUG, NANS, we have vibrant young ladies in activism. What's happening? Why am I having all three men? So, Lucky, do you have females in NANS in your ESCO?
Yes, of course. This current leadership of NANS, we have close to about 4 executives.
And do you have Gen Zs there? I need to see the Gen Zs.
I don't know. We don't know what.
No, you should know, because I need to see those young, vibrant people with all the terminologies.
In NANS, there are some certain positions that is reserved for women, for ladies as well, like the treasurer, the ex-officials. They are reserved for ladies specifically.
Unofficially, I think I'm going to put a ban on all three of you until we see the Gen Zs and the young people from your bodies. Well,
our comrade.
It's been a fine conversation, and I'm hoping that we will follow the confab with all of you. Once again, happy independence, Lucky, Haruna, and Dotun.
Thank you.
Got all of that.